NoFap, semen retention, and wet dreams, the stuff that nobody wants to talk about or admit. In this video, we're going to talk about all three of those things and why NoFap and semen retention is literally the secret to some of the world's highly successful people.
But you ain't living like that. The Porsche costs 100, this is twice that. Flooded on my diamonds, falling spring. Back in Oakland, I'm a king, I know I Aussie is a ting.
Hey, what's up? My name is Brian Moncada. I'm a 25-year-old entrepreneur, and right now I am chilling in my apartment's pool, drinking some Mountain Valley spring water. And I wanted to turn on the camera right now and talk about NoFap, semen retention, and wet dreams, because last night I had the craziest wet dream of my life. I woke up and my boxer briefs were soaked, and I had to run to the restroom, get a little towel, a little toallita, and wipe all the man parts clean and change out boxer briefs. And it really inspired me, funny enough, to create this video, because I feel like NoFap is a very common theme nowadays on YouTube, but nobody really gets into the personal stories that really come with making a commitment to yourself to, abstain from sexual release, and why these two things are used by some of the world's most highly successful people to gain an unfair advantage over their competition and to be focused, laser focused on their mission and their purpose. And so I quickly want to first start off with a story of when I first discovered NoFap. So I was about a sophomore in college at Arizona State University, and for whatever reason I stumbled across NoFap, and at that time I wasn't really dating anybody. I wasn't, addicted to porn or anything, and I wasn't addicted to masturbating, but I was just probably doing it more often than one should be, I guess, enough to where I said, okay, well, maybe I should try this NoFap thing. I ended up going 3 months in total, right? Not exactly 90 days. I think it was maybe 95, 97, if I remember correctly, but it was almost as if I gained a superpower. It was almost as if I became supercharged, and I unlocked this next level of awareness that most guys will never tap into if they consistently release their sexual energy. It was literally like as if girls were chasing me. And I ended up breaking the streak, and I didn't fap, but I ended up releasing that, sexual energy with someone, and I hooked up with them, and it was a good time. That is the power that comes with the commitment to yourself to abstain from doing these certain sexual pleasures that most guys just give into because they feel stressed, they feel anxious, they feel overwhelmed, they get caught up in the mundane lifestyle. And what's easy? Well, it's easy, right? It's if you know that when you release sexual energy, whether it's on your own or whether with someone else, you feel this sense of relief. And that's why it's hard to do a commitment like NoFap for longer than a few weeks, a few months, right? Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. In that book, if you haven't read it, I would highly recommend it. I'll put a link in the description. He talks about sexual transmutation, okay? Sexual transmutation is the redirecting the mind from thoughts of physical expression, releasing yourself, to thoughts of another creative effort, okay? According to Napoleon Hill, doing this has the potential to transform mediocrity into genius. Because if you think about it, let me ask you a question right now. Poor people compared to rich people, let's just be frank. Most poor people have more kids than the rich people. When you're someone who's maybe not having the best time in life, maybe you're not chasing after your purpose, maybe you're not in the best social environment, the best economic environment in the world, it's easier to give in to your desire to release yourself with someone else, and that gives you the gratification of relief. And so why do a lot of poor middle-class families have more kids than the rich people? Well, it's because they probably aren't chasing after their purpose and transmuting this desire of sexual energy to something more creative, like starting a business, like filming a YouTube video, starting a YouTube channel, right? Going after their hobby that they've always wanted to have as a full-time income in their life. Those creative efforts could be the way they transmute their sexual desire, but instead they give in to their physical being, and they want to release it, and they choose to masturbate. Or they choose to release themselves with someone else, and in turn, when you do that, you have the risk of having kids. And so the power of NoFap really comes by sexually transmuting this desire from releasing yourself and choosing to transmute it, to change it from self-gratification. The reason why I felt more energetic, I had more vitality, I looked younger, and girls seemed naturally attracted to me was because when I made a commitment to myself to not fap, I stuck with it. And that commitment gave me the confidence, all right? The sense of peace, the sense of purpose. When you make a commitment to no fap and you stick with it every single day and you choose to, instead of give in to your urge, no matter how hard it is, when you're just freaking rock solid in the middle of the morning, right when you wake up and you're like, God damn, I just want to open up my phone and go on Instagram and start scrolling through Fitspo. And you choose to, instead of releasing yourself in that moment, you get up out of bed, you run to the restroom, you weigh yourself, and you start hitting the gym, right? And this compounds over time. You start hitting the gym, you start eating healthier, you start working on that business, and you have more confidence, a sense of peace, a sense of purpose. And that's why girls are naturally attracted to you more. It's not because you're not releasing yourself, and maybe there is some aroma that we might have when we do this that we haven't released our seed in a while. That might be true. I think it is. But it's more because you have now a sense of purpose bigger than just releasing yourself at any given moment when the sexual urge comes to you, all right? What do animals do? When they have the urge to have sex, they just freaking do it. They just go and pounce on the next animal that's a female and they just freaking release themselves. And do you really want to be an animal, or do you want to be someone who's a human, a superhuman, who's aware of these urges and who chooses to instead use this urge to create something that you're going to be proud of later on in the future? So now we're going to get into semen retention. Let me ask you a question. When you masturbate, when you look at porn and you jack off, or when you have sex, how do you feel immediately after? For sure you feel the sense of relief. You feel the sense of less stress, right? You also feel like you're more brain fogged. You feel clogged up mentally. You feel like you're a little bit more down, more depressed, more anxious, more worried, because you lose that sense of drive. There is a drop in testosterone levels immediately following an ejaculation, which makes your motivation and drive for more in life. Ejaculating causes that to drop. Your testosterone and releasing it your testosterone drops. About maybe 6 months ago, I started taking my dating life more seriously. And I got the book, The Dating Playbook for Men, written by a guy named Andrew Farabee, because at the time I was talking with one of my friends who is also an entrepreneur, and we were just bored one day and we were sitting with each other at the pool, not this pool, but another one, and we were like, dude, why don't we have girls? Why don't we have hot chicks around us? Like, we're good looking guys, we have businesses that are ours, we live a pretty cool freaking lifestyle, but we don't have any girls, why? And so I started taking my dating life more seriously because I wanted to have the quality of dating life that I know is possible for me. I wanted to be someone who can pick the girl that I want, using what I've learned through not just that book, but other books and podcasts, and just the actual act of experimenting with my dating life and taking it more seriously. I've been on about 30 different first dates in the last 90 days. Now, I wouldn't recommend it for everybody, but trust me, stick with me here. I'm going to share why this is actually a problem. Not only was I spending a bunch of money, I was spending a bunch of time, and I was wasting a lot of energy by going on these first dates in the last 90 days because it's been fun, but I've also had to, sacrifice some more important things in my life, like building my business, like creating YouTube videos. With that comes the offset of your energy, right? You're losing energy. The reason why I'm making this video in the first place is because 3 days ago I made the commitment again to go on a NoFap streak. And I don't have a timeline. Semen retention is a very important part of NoFap because it allows you to keep that testosterone within inside of you and to use it to sexually transmute it to other desires, more purposeful, fulfilling desires in your life. Now let's talk about wet dreams, okay? The thing that nobody talks about when it comes to NoFap and semen retention. And like I said last night, I had one of the craziest wet dreams of my life. And I don't know if you guys ever played RuneScape before. I used to be addicted to it when I was in high school. If you don't know what RuneScape is, chances are you're too young, maybe you're too old, or maybe you just weren't a nerd in high school like me. But I would play that game all night long. I would be maxed out. I was a level 134. Anyways, I had a dream. I was like dreaming about RuneScape, and I woke up and I had a wet dream. It was weird. It was super weird. I don't know what that says about me, but take that as you will. And when you go from having so much release of sexual energy so often, whether it's masturbation every week, every other day, or with other people like your girlfriend, like your significant other, and you go to NoFap, where you don't release anything on your own, you're gonna have wet dreams consistently. Okay, you're gonna have a lot more wet dreams within the first 21 days specifically. The last time I did a NoFap, I kid you not, I had about 6 wet dreams within the first month of doing NoFap. And like I said, 3 days ago I decided to do NoFap again, so I'm on day 3 right now. And just last night I had a wet dream, and I'll probably have more throughout this month. Wet dreams usually cause people on NoFap to feel demotivated, to feel like they lost, they didn't keep their streak, and they usually lose their desire for the commitment to NoFap because they ended up waking up and they had a wet dream. I found that within the first month they're a lot more common, but after month 1, month 2, month 3, I've only been about, like I said, I think my max streak was like 97 days. They do go away after month 1 a lot more, and you probably will only have 1 a month, maybe 1 every 2 months at that point. So in summary, here's what you should take away from this video. Number 1, NoFap does work, and the reason why NoFap works is because you can choose to transmute the desire of your sexual pleasure to something more creative, like building a business, starting a YouTube channel, creating a charity, or doing anything you've always wanted to do but haven't had the time to do. And you'll actually feel more purposeful, feel more fulfilled, feel more energetic, because you're keeping your testosterone in by semen retention, and you're using that aggression, that desire, for more productive things in your life. They're gonna help you have more energy, help you feel more fulfilled, and are naturally gonna be more attractive to the opposite sex because you have more life and you're not drained, depressed, down, feeling anxious, stressed, and worried like you do when you just get done masturbating or watching porn. And the third and final part is that wet dreams are normal. Wet dreams are natural. And you can expect to have more wet dreams in the very first month of doing NoFap than you would in the second or third month. And so I hope that gives some clarity to you on your journey in NoFap. And I just wanted to share my personal experience to give you some context and to let you know that you're not alone. Obviously, nobody really talks about this stuff, but most of my life is on YouTube anyways. So if you want more videos like this, press subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And also leave me a comment down below with the longest you've went on a NoFap streak, as well as what your opinion on wet dreams are. Do they count? Do they not count? Do you feel depressed when you have them? Whatever the case may be, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment below. And remember, click this video or watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna keep drinking this Mountain Valley spring water. I'm gonna keep on NoFapping. And I'm gonna keep all this testosterone in me, baby, to use it to build my business, to build my dreams, and I hope you can join me along this journey as well. Till next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one.